All right, I think we're live here. Here at the open, 8 seconds before the open, in a bull channel. So if we break down, that would be expected. Um, Daily chart got followed through. I'm going to switch to the RTF chart. So RTF chart is a gap down. So we're in a channel on this one, and we gap down. Okay. So this is part of the gap down, basically. This was the gap here. So let's see how we treat this gap. We leave it open and run down. It's going to be very bearish. If we pull above it and then try to come back, that's also going to be bearish. So basically, the bulls got work to do. Um, Looking for a measured move of this trading range here before anything happens. So bears probably run down to this level here, and then maybe the bulls will try to test the close. But this trading range needs a breakout. It needs a target to break out. So this is, so far this is happening just like yesterday. Yesterday opened up like this big strong bar, like 100 and some points, 131 points down. This is opening up. It's already 81 points down. I'm not going to chase this. Um, I'm just not going to do that. Let's see what they want to do though. So we had a gap down and follow through. So you can already see this is kind of like a big invisible bar, red bar, and then you had follow through. So let's see what happens here. I don't think, well, I don't know. Let's see what happens. It says I'm streaming, but I don't see my video on my channel. Michael Jackson. What's that about? Hmm. Yeah, this is mirroring yesterday. Open, big rundown. Bears are saying we're in control early here. This could have been the trade of the day here. But yesterday, you bought that bar, or you sold that bar, or you sold a bar after it. Basically, the Bears were disappointed for the first hour. Disappointed here, they got bought up. Disappointed here, bought up. This was small disappointment, but and then they got less disappointed as the trend came out. So this is kind of just like yesterday, gapped up or gapped down and then ran down. So let's see if the Bulls want to come in at this level. This is a measured move target of this range whereabouts. So I'm expecting it to pick up some buyers down here. So let's see how the Bulls respond to this, and then that'll tell me, you know, what kind of day we're gonna have. So this didn't happen yesterday. This wick was not there yesterday. This bar was really strong throughout the entire body yesterday. I remember I was short. So you got more buying pressure today on the open with the same setup than you do, than you did yesterday. So are the bulls actually, have they had enough down here? Are they actually trying to reverse up? We'll have to see. But I'm gonna put a couple of other time frames over here just so we can get a bigger picture of what's going on. I switch off throughout the day. I'll have the hourly over here for a little bit, and then I'll go. If I'm in a trade, I'll go to the minute. I like to get different looks. Um, it's most important to me at the beginning of the day because the first 15-minute close is the third candle, and the first hourly close is 4 of these and 12 of these. So I pay attention to that also, and I also pay attention to these ATRs. Like I want to see, is this heating up, and we see it is. This ATR right now, the last 4 bars was 49, and the average of the last 20 was 40. So, you know, if I even want to get involved right now, I got to look at ATR and I got to say, okay, you're willing to risk 49 points. What is that to your, you know? And I have it here. You can put in your risk manager, $150 per trade. But you know, I go over that. I tend to combine trades if I'm trying to scale in. So, um, but this is really useful to know. You don't need it too big because they're large time frames. So you can keep the bigger one or the smaller one your focus. Because I'm looking for short-term moves. I'm not looking for, you know, these just they inform me about what's going on in longer time frames, but the moves and the entries happen so infrequently. I'm not looking for these for setups. I'm looking for this to say, okay, yeah, sure, you can go ahead and do that. I'm not going to fight you. Like, I'm not going to be in an uptrend and you're trying to short the 5-minute chart. Like, that's what I'm looking for. So that's why I keep them up. But they don't need to be too big. They don't need to be over here too much. Matter of fact, let's move these scales to the right here. Okay, so that was a nice trade down. A bar that big, you would expect continuation. They have not hit a one-to-one of this range yet. Looking for other possible targets they could have. I'm looking for breakouts here. Let's do a target of this leg here. This is not my right fib. This ain't gonna work. I need to switch this to my right fib. Where is the little thing at? There we go. All right, so you're getting a reversal bar off of this. Looking like it wants to continue down. Bears have not shown up, or Bulls have not shown up, but Bears haven't gotten their break or their one-to-one yet on this trading range. So, not interested in selling this low. I don't think a lot of Bears are interested in selling this low. I think they want to see what the Bulls got. But if you look at this, a measured move from here to here, that's also a one-to-one at the bottom of this range. They're 2-to-1. Oh, hold on. They're 2-to-1 for the Bears that sold that leg. Their 2-to-1 is down here. So they could be going for this. The Bears could be going for this before, you know, they stop selling and the Bulls show up. And that'd be a terrible waste, terrible swing to miss. That'd be the swing of the day. I'd be sick if I missed that. So I gotta find a way to get positioned for that. So opening bar, strong bar. Now the Bulls take out the top of it. Probably gonna go to the top of this trading range right here, at least the very minimum, because they've broken out the bottom. So they're going to go to the top. They'll probably go above the top and test this one here. Okay. But right now, what I'm looking at is Bears are disappointed. This bar wasn't a disappointment. It closed pretty good. Little tail on the bottom, but look how big the body is. Gap down, follow through, bull bar. So anyone trying to sell the low of this, they're trapped. Okay. They're trapped right now. You see that? They sold the low. Anyone that sold the low of this bar is trapped. So you would expect if this goes up, trapped traders are going to sell more to bring it back down to at least break even so they can get out with a profit or, you know, a loss here and a profit on this. So there's going to be sellers at the top of this bar, in my opinion. You also have the gap and you have the bottom of the trading range. So when they go back to test, you've got a lot of reasons why this should naturally fall away. Okay, the people that bought here thinking it was going to do the same thing it did here, okay, they're trapped into a bad trade. They're buying this low right now aggressively, trying to get back to the high, trying to get back around this area so they can get out. The bulls that bought here, they're buying here aggressively, trying to get back up here, and they probably will. They probably will retrace this a pretty good amount. The bears are up here selling. It doesn't really look like they took profits down here. They didn't hit their one-to-one,
So they're probably going for a 2-to-1. My issue is knowing all this or thinking all this, it's going to get there pretty quick. Like it could get there in the next bar. And that could be the swing of the day, and it could just go sideways for the rest of the day, and I'll sit here looking like an idiot. But I'm waiting to see. Okay, that was a pretty good close. Probably going to be more sellers or more buyers. What am I saying? Probably going to be more sellers above. But they've tried once now, and this is completely reversed down. But they're trying to get this. They're trying to get this around the 50% mark. They're trying to get this. So let's measure this breakout now and see where its measurements are. Strong bull bar. So that 1-to-1 is here. You're selling now. I'm actually going to sell that.
Order filled.
I need instant order placement on this. I don't know what the hell that was. Making me confirm. Executions, instant order placement. There it is. That's a pain in the ass having that off. All right, so we're going to be short there. 75 points up would be where our stop is. So actually above the high, so that's perfect. That's a $150 trade. If we fall to 1-to-1, that's easy money. That's a 1-to-1.
Order rejected.
What are you doing? I rejected my buy order to get out of this. There it is. Okay, so if we just come right down here, that'd be fantastic. But I see some type of retracement coming. So I'm prepared to scale into this. I'm going to put a box here, though, and I'm going to try to do any scaling I'm thinking about above the 50% of that box. So I'm getting at least a 50% discount where I bought, but relative to the last leg. But we don't know. This could get right there. If it gets there now, it's fine. But I have to be ready. I have to be willing to accept this much risk on the trade because that's where the stop has to go. Okay. 75 points times 2, that's 150 bucks. That's my stop loss per trade most of the time anyway. So if I add another contract, though, obviously this gets cut in half, or I'll double the risk and do a $300 trade. Okay. So, but I really want to see them come down here. So they've hit their 1-to-1, and it looks like they may be taking profits down here at 1-to-1, a little bit below. I'm gonna get out of that.
Order filled.
That didn't make me anything. That was probably a scratch. So this is low. Bears don't want to sell low. Bulls want to buy low. So maybe we'll have a trending trading range. I want to see their reply to this. I want to see what they do. Can they put in a green bar and not sustain it? Can they not even put in a green bar and it's just red bar, red bar, red bar? If this one is ignored after they've bought this low, trap bears down here, because there's bears trapped here now. I'm going to just mark this here as a bear trap. Put a little bear on my screen here. Bears trapped below here at the moment. It looks like it's coming down again. This is 3 bars though. This is typically when it reverses up a little bit. Gives a little bit of reprieve, some take profits. They just hit this, but for you to hit this and bulls see that this is a clear target for a measured move and they're not buying and they're not selling back. I mean, it makes me believe that we're going to
Order filled. Order filled.
I'm going to double that. Put my stop up here. So now I have a $300 trade on whereabouts. Doesn't mean it's going to stay there. Like I said, if this pops up now, I'm not getting out at the high. I'm going to add on at the high, but I may sell before it gets that high if it looks really nasty. But could come down to this 2-to-1 because bulls were not interested in buying this 1-to-1. They trapped the bears and pulled it up, but then they got him out of the trap. They let him out of the trap. So What are you gonna do about that? It's doing what I want it to do, selling off, closing near its low. This would be a great bar for bulls to buy to trap bears, but this is really strong. I'm going to sell again.
Order filled.
Selling into this 2 and this 2 here. But you know, my day's really made when I hit like 200, 250. So get close to that. You kind of want to protect it because they could come snap this all back from me right now. But I think we're going to continue down here. And even if we don't, I think the pullback will be shallow. We're getting far away from this moving average, though, from the 20. It's making me nervous. Okay, there's a good drop. Okay, there's that first
Order filled.
I'm going to take that.
Order filled.
I'm going to take it all, actually. Let's see if it gets going. I could run
Order filled.
Put a runner there. But when the market gives you a gift early like that, you take it. You take it. I should have took this, and I didn't. But that was an early morning gift. I'll take that. I can always get back in. I can't see my P&L. I'm not looking at it, but I believe it's over here in this area of the screen. Did I turn it off? I think it's over here. Yeah, it's over here. Okay, so you see we're getting my profit target here. It looks like we hit the first 2. So this 2 to 1 was from the gap. So this was a gap 2 to 1. So this was the one of the gap right here. Well, maybe this was more at here, and then we expanded it here. Yeah, whatever. That works both ways. That works both ways. So this is a 1 to 1 for this gap. This is a 2 to 1. You see the 2's lined up there. So maybe I should have held to this area here. Maybe I should have held to here. But this is a 2 to 1 from this leg here from yesterday. So these bulls are still holding. They got to hit their 2 to 1. Where are the bulls? That's what I'm asking right now. Where are the bulls? I'm suspicious. I'm looking for them, and they're not showing up. So they're waiting to buy. It's almost like they're waiting to buy. When you saw this come down and hit this 1 to 1 of this trading range right here, and they didn't show up right here, and you had bears trapped, it looks like they were going to show up. This traded below here, remember? This bar traded below here first and trapped bears that sold this bar and then traded above and then trapped bulls that bought this. So there's actually bulls trapped. There's bulls trapped everywhere on this chart. But they're giving up. That's why the bars are getting bigger. Because they're giving up because there's no bottom in sight. They didn't buy this. They tried to. They were rejected. So let's see if they try at the 2 to 1. If not, bears might get a 3 to 1. Let's look at the chart long term and see if that's possible. But look how big that hourly bar is. Let's look at what the hourly bar, 15-minute bar is huge. Look at that, 56 for the last 4 bars with 41 overall. And this ATR is 100 and it's usually 75. So a lot of volatility. Obviously, it's picking up. This ATR is damn near 20 points more than this. So you're getting a lot of expansion. They're looking for the other side, but they just broke this low right here. I didn't even know that low was there. I probably would have held, or I definitely would have taken this trade if I knew that low was there. I had marked it. So next low is here, but most likely the high will be tested first. So have they tested the high yet?
This was a nice trade. It's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. And we just hit that target on this one here. So I'm an idiot. We know that. I sold like here, and it gave me more. I was comfortable doing that because I just wanted this with one contract, remember? So if I take half of this or 3/4 of this or 2/3 of this with 3 contracts, I'm ahead. These bears are going for 3-to-1. Damn. But the problem is, and beginners do this a lot, and I kind of feel dumb saying this because it makes me feel like a beginner, but you'll scalp this and then you won't get back in, right? And you'll make a scalp when you should have made a swing. I just made a scalp, but this is a swing. This is a swing of the freaking day, and I'm not in it. I'm missing it. So I feel like a beginner right now, but I'm looking like volatility is up. This is what I'm thinking, guys. Volatility is up. ATR is almost double what the average is. This is the last 4 bars. This is the average of the last 20. I think it's set to 20. Yeah. So ATR is 24. The last 4 bars, it's 20, and we understand that it just opened. The pre-market's not going to be as volatile as the other one, but this is not pre-market. This ATR value is giving you the look back of these because I'm on the regular chart. See, I'm on the RTH. So this is regular session volume that's doing this, regular session ATR. So it's already heightened. We're far away from the moving average, far away. Why would I want to sell down here? Why am I selling down here? It's like a vacuum. It's like it's being sucked below these levels here. So it's testing this. Looks like it's coming to test this. But the problem is there's no reason for me to buy here. Absolutely no reason to buy. And if there's no reason for me to buy, there's no reason for me to get out of my sell, because you got to get out of the sell. You got to buy, right? So there's no reason for me to sell to get out here. So this is my fault. Me missing all of this is my fault. And I guarantee you the times that it continues down more than pays for the times where it reverses and takes that little profit from me. So kind of upset, but I can't really do anything until they pull back. So if I'm in this position, let's say I scalp this because this looks strong. This day opened like this day here yesterday. It ran down, but these bars form very different. I was in this trade yesterday. I caught this whole bar yesterday. So this here, this was one solid bar yesterday. Okay. This was a solid bar. Then it was a half bar. So they pulled all the way back. This one didn't pull back as much. And it's kind of weird. This one was straight down and it had pullback strength. This one had pullback strength, but now it's straight down. Okay, so I'm trying to reconcile that in my head. Are you stronger? Are you weaker? Because this first bar you saw as a problem because you bought it back halfway up. Okay, then you tried again, you got about halfway, and then you've been trying on every candle. But since they hit their 1R, you haven't heard a peak out of the bulls. So are they waiting for them to get below their level? Are they really going to give the bears 3R on the opening drive of the day? But it looks like it. Where else could they be going? Where else are they going right now? Who else is measuring? Where else are they going? Anyone in the comments? Where you think they're going? I don't even know if anyone's watching. But this is amateur of me. It's very amateurish because this is a lot of money I could be making in a very easy to read trend, and I got out. I got out, and I'm trapped out. So because I'm trapped out, they went right to that 3. They dived toward that 3. Because I'm trapped out of this, other traders are trapped out of this. So when we get back to the moving average, we're most likely going to sell. I don't even think we'll get there. I think we'll get to the bottom of this range, retest this range, and then pull away. But they went to 3-to-1. Damn. I can't believe that off the open. But there's no reason for me to sell this or for me to buy this back. This is totally my fault. I missed all of this. At least another 500, 600 bucks just without even adding on. I would have added on. Okay, so they hit their 3-to-1 of this trading range. 1, 2, 3. Do the bears cover and the bulls show up? If we get a big bull bar or a big tail, yes. If not, the breakout continues, and it really does continue because now if you're measuring this and you haven't had a consecutive bar or a pullback, their target's here. The bulls that are the bears, bulls that are what am I saying? The bears that are selling this, their target is here. Their 1-to-1s here. Let's make it where it makes sense. If I sell right now, because these bulls sold, my 1-to-1 is here, my 2-to-1 is here. Okay, but it looks like there's some profit taking down here because you're seeing some green bars. So right at 3-to-1, bulls come back in, they say okay, enough, and they're buying this up. Only problem is you got major gaps above, and this leg is so big, so horrendous with a gap down. It's so big, they're not closing this gap today. Okay, very low, very, very low probability. I'm not saying they can't do it because anything can happen, but less than 10%, less than 5%, they're going to close this gap. Okay, so what they probably will do is retrace about 50% of this. And then the bears that were trapped out, like me, and this is coincidental because this is around the area I got out before. You see this? So I've been in this looking at this fall this whole time thinking, God damn it, if I can get a chance to sell it there again, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to sell. I'm going to try at least. Right? I'm going to try at least. Okay? So you have bulls that bought the breakout. They want to retest to this level so that they can get out at less of a loss. Okay? Doesn't look like the bears are going to let them. Holy shit, look at this. Doesn't look like the bears are going to let them. But there's targets below now, and they still haven't broken this low, and you know they coming all this way. They ain't come all that way to come all that way. To just not come down here and take this low out. So 56 more points down there. But what was I saying? So we've got this very strong bear leg. Okay. It warrants another leg down. It warrants at least a second leg, even if it's small. Even if it's half of this leg was like 200 points. Yeah, this leg was 274 points. You're gonna get a second leg down. Probably this is like a day's range, guys. We just basically watched a day's range in NQ, and I didn't catch all of it. I wonder would it have happened if I were not trading live. I don't know. All right, so we're getting the buy down here again. The bulls started to buy, the bears pushed it down below here, and the bulls bought it back up. So there is trap bears down here again. There are trap bears down here right now at the moment. Okay, but where are the bulls trapped? So let's do a little math for the bulls here. We've been doing bear math all morning. If I'm a bull, and let's say that I bought this price here. Let's say I bought this price right here. And let's say I bought the breakout. Okay. Well, let's first see if getting to this price, if you bought the breakout, got you to break even. Because those bulls probably got untrapped. So I just take this price here and this price here. If I bought this price, okay, so if I bought, here we go. If I bought this candle here, bought the breakout, and then I bought the low of this let me out at a break even. These bulls got out at break even if they were smart. If they came down here, right here, the low of this, and they bought 2 times what they bought up here, they were able to break even probably about right here. Okay. If they just bought double, they probably got close to a break even, maybe a small loss. So I wouldn't be too worried about them getting out, but there's probably still some trapped here, just not a lot. I'm gonna say there's a little bit of bulls trapped there though. Okay. Bulls trapped there. Bulls didn't want to buy this. This is not a good looking bull bar. This same thing. Look at the strength of these bars though. Jesus, look at these shaved tops and bottoms. Not a bull in sight. Not a bull in sight. Look at these shaved top. Look at this. It's the high. They have this feature now you can hold and you get this box when you land over. It's so much easier than looking up here. But look at the high.
The high and the close were. I'm looking for the low. These are the low and the close. That was 5 points off of that low, but look at the highs though. But you're getting some buying down here. This is disappointment for the Bears, but I don't know what Bears are holding on here. I don't know what Bears are doing here. Like if you haven't taken profits here and just position yourself for this pullback, then I don't really understand what you're doing. But this is not a good bull bar to go long above. It's weak, especially after all this. But this is very climactic. This is climactic behavior. You had basically 3 climaxes here, and there's gaps. Okay, so based on how hard of a time they have getting back up here, I think Bears are gonna let them get back to the moving average. But if we sell at say the 50%, maybe the 50 will have caught up by the time they get back there. But as of right now, they need a couple big bars to get back there. And I think if you put in a couple big bull bars, you're going to entice bears to sell again. You're going to entice some bears to sell into you. So I think whatever they do, it's going to be slow and deliberate, and it might be surprising. So I'm just watching right now. I'd like to take another couple trades, but I'm just watching and narrating right now. The Google Pixel Fold is being released or being announced today. So I want to watch that keynote because I have the Galaxy Fold, that folding phone from last year, and I wasn't impressed with the one they came out with this year. So I decided to wait until the Pixel release they're offering and see if I like it. So I am going to be watching that. So I don't really need to. Oh, hey, Ricky, you're in here? I just looked at my chat. So the top of the Dow Jones, nice. Yeah, this is a really strong trend. I don't know why I got out of it. Any measure, I stay in this trend. A trend line, a feeling. Nice. Is my P&L showing up on the side there? OBS has been acting nasty lately. What we got? 34 points. What's ATR? ATR is 57 points. Okay. Yeah, the Bulls are finally making. I can't believe they got them a fucking 3-1 on that range. Did you see that? You see how it stuttered at the 2-1 and was like, nope, going right through it. All right, so I've been looking for these Bulls. Been looking for them all day. Waiting for them to show up. So this is a spike, which means on a smaller time frame, it's a channel. So I'm going to go down to the 1 minute and I'm going to see how much this pulled back and all the little moves inside because it'll help me trade this here. So let's see. Let's go to the 1 minute. Okay, there's that 1 minute channel there. And I'm going to just put some lines over it here, make it make sense. And that don't make no sense, but we're retesting the bottom of it now. That makes sense. So we broke out the bottom and we're retesting the bottom. And there's not a support level in sight for these poor bulls. These poor drained bulls. But you can't even get to the 1 period 20. Look at this. You can't even get to the damn The last 20-minute average you can't even get to. That's craziness. I need to just get short again. Not a good candle for the Bulls. The Bulls have to do something impressive. They're not doing anything
Order filled.
impressive. I'm selling again. Even if they pull me out of here, I'm going to sell more. That's a good sell.
Order filled.
I'll take that. All right. Quick $50 scalp there. Bears are trapped below here, though. They're not now. They're getting out. Or they're selling more. This is a pitiful pullback. Look at the first response from yesterday. Look at the first response. They tried. This bar was solid green and they broke down. I was in this trade here. They pulled me all the way up. Well, no, I got out here. I got out below here. They pulled me up. They pulled the price up here, though. Tried twice. 1, 2, and then they pulled away. This is tried once and it was pitiful. And now they're just broken down. But this is so climactic. Like, I don't know what's going to happen next. I should just be selling this, but I can't sell this far away from the MA. I can't do it. I can, but I can't. I want to see a real pullback. Bears are still trapped out of this. Imagine seeing this and seeing this as the pullback and not buying or not selling it because it's not enough. It's not enough. And then getting this. What do you want to do? Firstly, these people want to take profits, I think. These bulls are being run out. This bar is probably going to get huge. It's probably going to be as big as this bar. But then that has to be a climax. That has to be the climax of this. They're finally coming through this low here. Yeah, they're all moving in sympathy today, Ricky. Dow Jones has been going up all week, though. Well, going up all month. And, well, everything's been going up all month, but they've been, like, taking turns. Like, NASDAQ will be down one day, and the Dow will be up. But the Dow's been raging lately, like fucking a lunatic. It's just been flying through levels, and the Nasdaq's been pulling back. Tech is usually the strongest because that's what this market is built on right now, AI and tech. So Nasdaq is tech heavy. It's got Apple, Nvidia, it's got all the tech companies in it. So it's going to be when they run to those companies to buy them up, Nasdaq goes up first. Dow is industrial and stuff like that. So manufacturers and shit, which I'm surprised that's going up, but I don't know why people think we're going to bring manufacturing back to America, but that's a different story. It's for another stream. I've had like 2 viewers on this damn thing. You and somebody else popping in and out. I need to do this every day to get my audience back. That's what I need to do. This is insane. Are they going for their 1-to-1? Because that's the only thing that makes sense here. I gotta sell.
Order
I
filled.
don't know where they're going to, and I think the rally is going to be violent, but I gotta sell. I gotta get short. In any little pullback, I gotta sell. It seems. I'm gonna sell twice.
Order filled.
If I get trapped in a trade like I did yesterday when I'm up $300, I'm gonna be pissed, but that's okay. Wonder what the tick and ADD are doing right now. So what's the average bar here? UTR is 50. Okay. And one of these bars is 780. So here we go. As soon as I sell, I get caught. Caught out as soon as I sell here. I don't want to get too big this low away from the moving average, but now I'm going to have to fix this. Bulls are trying. They need to do better than this, though. Bulls just need to do more to convince anyone that we're going up, even themselves, because they can't seem to put consecutive bars together or any bar. They can't even put a bull body together. I'm gonna look at the tick and ADD here and see what it's doing. Down to 233 companies down. We double topped at 450 up. We are getting some buying pressure coming in here though. Let's see. So I sold the low. I'm always doing these exercises. What if I sell the worst price? How can I get out? What if I buy the worst price? How can I get out? I don't think I'm in that scenario yet. I'd have to get a couple bars away to start thinking about that, but or start putting together a plan. I'm thinking about it now, but I'd probably get out of this break even if it lets me or a small profit because it's not performing. Okay. Okay. Must have heard me, but it still ain't performing. It's bouncing off of that low instead of going through it.
Order filled. Order filled.
Picked up an extra couple bucks, but it wasn't worth it. I'm gonna wait for a pullback. I'm uncomfortable doing this. I'm uncomfortable. I probably wouldn't be if I wasn't streaming. I'd probably be like, yeah, let's get in there. But I'm uncomfortable doing this, and that tells me that it's incorrect. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for a proper pullback, at least 50%, maybe if we can get a 40%. But look at this, it just keeps growing. Okay, so the pullback actually ended here. So you guys got the spike. Here we go. Drop some knowledge on you now. You got the spike. Damn it. All right, spike, pullback. The pullback happens when a bar trades below the high of another bar. So this is the pullback right here. And now you have the channel phase. So you would expect this phase of it, whatever it turns into, to be weaker than this phase of it right here. That's what you would expect, okay? So let's remove some of these. It's getting a little confusing. Remove the drawings. Let's start over. All right, measured move. Let's do it. From here to here. That's the spike ending there. Measured move. Target is here for the bulls. The 1-to-1 is here. Okay. I want to pull back to here. I think this would be a healthy pullback. Okay, I believe this would be healthy. Okay, but remember we said the 20 could catch up to the 50% moves because this is the average price of the last 20 bars. This is the average price of the range. At this point in the range, it's very important because, well, this ain't even the average price. Did that bar just expand as I was drawing this? What in the hell? Hold on, let's do it again because that's not. Oh, that was the spike. Okay. That was the spike. This doesn't count. This is part of of them trying to get to target 1. But this is the average price here. This is the average of the last 20 bars. And remember, it's including the RTH session. So you have the average price right here. people want to buy near an average price. You're getting a good deal, right? As this average price falls, as the closes of all of these bars are lower, the average price is obviously going to fall. The average price is now below the average price of the range. Okay, so if they were to get back here, okay, right now, you'd have multiple parties trying to sell this price. You'd have the bears selling because they were trapped out here. This is where I got out of my sell right here the first time. Okay, and I shouldn't have. I should have stayed in. But this is where I got out. So I'm definitely interested in selling there. Okay, you have some bears or some bulls that are trapped above. There's some trapped here and there's some trapped here. Okay, if you look at that, I think they've given up though. I think they're out of the market. I can't imagine they're still around. If they're not really smart. After they blew through that 1-to-1 and went for 2-to-1 and eventually got 3-to-1 and now they're going for 4-to-1, like, come on now. You traveled a whole day's range in the first hour. So 950 here soon. 90% chance we've seen the high or low of the day at the 950 bar, which is an hour and 50 or an hour and a half in. So what's that? 950. All right. So at this point, probably seen the low of day here. You can go right through the middle there, vertically, very small. And I can't see that as I'm old. Okay. So high of the day, low of the day, you've probably seen it, but I'm looking for this trade here. I want this trade here all day. I want this right here. Okay. And the key is going to be there has to be selling entering around this level. And it can be, it can be from here to here. It can be anywhere in this area, but I want to see selling and I want to see it around this level. I think bears want to see selling around this level. I'm shocked that they're still selling this. I'm in disbelief and I'm not in the trade. And I should be selling at least something short, but I've almost hit my goal for the day. Like, I don't need to be in here messing around with this with low probability. This is low probability. What are the chances of this continuing when it's already done this? Now, it can do it. It did it a couple weeks ago. Right here. This was all day. And had you just connected this low to this low, you would have caught this whole trend. Right? So it did it all day until about 12, but that point move, 323 points, see how struggle it was? You see how struggle that was? And then the Bulls came back. Look at this. They grinded this down. Every other bar there's an opposite party. Big bull bar, big bear bar, bull bar, big bear bar, bull bar, big bull bar, bear bar, all the way down. And then the Bulls took over and it looked like it was almost effortless. They took over and this probably I bet a new trader that made money here lost it all here and gave back more. I guarantee it. Because they couldn't believe this was reversing. Okay? But you got to do what the market's telling you. This doesn't look like that scenario though. This is straight down and it's almost the same amount of points. That was like 300 points. This is more than that. Yeah, you moved 375 points plus the gap down. Plus, so you got a 400 point day. This bar is going to look nasty. Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty. And they've broken the 20 period. Why was the 20 so damn close? Damn, I thought we were a little far away from it, but we did have these doji days up here. Let's look at the weekly. We got to be awake on the weekly. Okay, so they're coming back to this on the weekly, the 20 on the weekly. Last time we ignored it and went right through it. Both times, way down and up. I don't think they're paying attention to it. Let's see what happens when we get back to that one, but below the 20 on that one, below the 20 on that one. So you guys know what I want. I want to pull back into this level right here. I want to pull back into this level here, and then I want to take this trade short. If they can get even above the moving average, and then that would be fantastic. Because all you've seen here is a bear party. They've been making money all day. Bulls need to make money. Bulls need to make money. Bears need to take profits. That's why bulls need to make money because they have to have someone to sell to down here. So when you have all this selling going down and you have accumulated a large position and you're a bank and you've got billions of dollars, you can't just get out of that order. You have to have a counterparty. Otherwise, you're gonna get worse prices as you try to get out. You know, you sell this, big orders, big orders. You had a lot of people fighting you here, so you were able to get a lot of orders off. So you got a big order coming down, another big order, big orders. You got a bunch of orders down here. You have to figure out how do you take all this paper profit and turn it into real profit. Because if you just try to buy, you're just gonna create this on the way up. Your last order, you're gonna sell it up here. You ain't made no money. So you need to make sure that when you sell down here, you trick enough people into taking the opposite side of you, or you trick these bulls into scalping here so they can take the opposite side. You unload a little bit. It gets a little bit higher. You sell a little bit more. It comes down. Gets back to this level. Bulls might buy again. Okay, you can sell into them a little bit more. Or it continues down, 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 and then you can start your buying operation somewhere down here. And even if you're getting worse prices, you can stop at this level, sell again, and come back down. And it just goes that way until they've unloaded their entire position, and then the market reverses because there's no one else to sell. So I think that we need a pullback. One is healthy. It's been away from the moving average for almost 20 bars, and a pullback is due here. 9 bars it's been away. But that's the play though. Go back to that channel on the 1 minute. But this is clear as day. If you look at this chart and you ask yourself who's making money, how are they doing it? Bears are clearly in control this whole leg down. Okay, Bulls didn't make hardly any money. If they bought here and sold here, perfect trade, they made money. But that's it. You had to be perfect, and you had to be perfect one time. You could have been sloppy here, sold for any fucking reason and made money. You could have sold below a bar, above a bar, below this one. You could have sold above this. You could have sold a bull bar. That's something that I look at too in trends when I'm trading price action is I take like 10 bull bars and bear bars and I see, had I just sold every bar, even if it was a bull bar, would I have made money? Would I have made more money than buying? And you'll find more than a few examples of there'll be a collection of bull bars and a collection of bear bars, and there'll be more bull bars and bear bars. But you'll find out if you sold the bull bars, you made more money than if you sold the bear bars. And that's how you know you're in a limit order market, because when you're selling in a limit order market, someone's buying from you. And when you're buying, someone's selling to you. So if you see this and you're like, man, had I sold this, like this instance here, I sell this big bear bar, I don't make any money. I sell this big bull bar, I make money. I sell this big bear bar, I don't make any money. I sell this one, I don't make money here either. But so I would just ignore this and count this as two. So I'd sell this big bull bar here, and I made money. See that? It's only to a couple bars later where you can sell a bear bar and get follow through. Bear bar, follow through. Bear bar, and then it kind of alternates. You see them try to fight back, they give up for a few bars. They try to fight back, they give up. They try to fight back, they give up. But I could have been a seller for any reason. If I sold for any reason today, I'm happy. If I sold because I thought it was going down, if I sold because the cat jumped on the keyboard, if I sold a bear bar, if I inverted the chart and I went counter trend, whatever reason you sold today, you're happy and you're in profit. Whatever reason you bought today, you are not happy. You're very disappointed. So the key is finding out where these traders are disappointed, and there's definitely some disappointed here. There's bulls disappointed right here. Bulls trapped here. Okay. This was not a good buy signal. This was a doji, which is a trading range. And if this were a trading range on a regular chart and you went long or short above or below it, you're asking yourself to be trapped, because the trading range is literally saying we don't know what price we don't know what direction we want to take price. It goes up, it's too high, they sell it. It goes down, it's too low, they buy it. They close where they open, right here in the middle. This was a tick bar or 1 point bar, 1.75 points. Same on the next bar. So any bulls going long above here, you need an exceptional bar to reverse this bear leg. You need an exceptional bar. You need something like this. You need something like this that's going to take out the highs of several bars, green or red bars, for you to even think about buying this. Okay? But I don't think this was buying. I think this was profit taking, because had it been buying, we would have got a bar like something like this. I think this was these bears buying a little bit back to take profits, because if you think about it, you sell here, anywhere in here, you're up 200-300 points. You got to reduce that risk. You're foolish to leave that much risk on when the chances of us going lower are not really high. So you gotta weigh that stuff out. But I feel like this reply here from the Bulls is not convincing enough. I'd like for them to just gun it to the 20 and then I can sell again. I'm not gonna be shy either. Even if we get a day like this, I'll just have to manage my way in that position. Because we can get a day where it guns it and it keeps gunning it. But the 20 was always close on this day because the Bears were weak. They couldn't get away. They kept trying to do a bear trend. They wanted something like today, but they couldn't get it. The Bulls were too strong. The Bulls wanted to buy still, and that's why they got that rally at the end of the day. And this is a classic break. Downward sloping trend line, breaks up most of the time. Boom, broke up, retested, took off. Classic. Kind of look at some more midday reversals. This was a midday reversal. Gapped up here. About 11 o'clock, double topped about 11 o'clock, and then came down. Wow, came down hard too. Damn, came down almost 200 points at the end of the day. The last 4 bars of the day. Oh no, that's the beginning of the next day. Okay, so this didn't come down that day. This came down the next day. But that was connected price action though. They held that price there all night, and in the morning dropped it. That's crazy. All right, we're approaching my hour mark. I will usually give up in an hour. But not bad. Traded an hour, made $318. Um, so everyone, and I mean, I think most people want to see a pullback to the 20 and they want to see a fall away. And because most people want to see that, I do not think we're going to get it, because they're going to sell every single pullback up to this level because they're not giving up. Look, they're not giving up. They gave the Bulls 2 bull bars, and they trapped them above. Did they trap them? No, this didn't trade above. So if you were buying on a stop, which I don't know why you would be doing in a bear trend, but let's say you want to buy the top of this, it never traded there, so you're not in this trade. But we're moving into a trading range, so we've done the channel, and now we're in a trading range. You go down to a smaller time frame, you'll see the whole thing. Breakout here. You could say that this is the breakout too. You could say that this is the breakout right here. This is the pullback right here. This is the channel phase right here. And then we're kind of moving into a trading range below here. So this is the channel phase. See how it's sloping down. Channel's just a sloping trading range. And now you have a proper trading range coming in here at the end. So you got the whole market cycle. Breakout, pull back into a channel, and then trading range. So I don't want to sell this. I'm in the middle of the range now. And really, this is the middle of the range. I'm at the bottom of the range. So if anything, I should be buying this on this chart, on this 2-minute chart. 5-minute chart, trading range. So this trading range is this bar right here. This bar is what this is. Do you feel confident? You feel more bearish because we are in a bear leg. But do you feel bullish? Do you feel like you want to buy above this bar? No, it's a bad buy. So if it's a bad buy, it's probably a good sell. And that's why they're selling it again. So this has a chance to be one of those meltdown days. But there's a target down here at 1-to-1. Daily though, if I look at ATR on the daily, where's it at? Daily, it's been 299 for the last 20 days. Today it's the last 4 days it's 317. So you're getting a lot more range out of these bars, and that's what you would expect. You expect that volatility at the top. So look how big these bars have been the last 4 days. So more volatile. Could we get a crash? Look at that April, man. Could we get a crash? Let's check out a trend line. I think we can get a crash. I love old nasty piece of crash. I'll probably just sit here and talk about it like I did this one. I won't make any money. Hey Jay, how'd you do? I made exactly nothing. But it was fun to watch. I remember when interest rates were going up and they were crashing all the time. See you, Ricky? They were crashing all the time, every day. I think I'm done with this stream too. I think I've done my damage for the day. Especially if the Bears won't give me a pullback, I can join. All right, guys, that'll be it for me. See you in the next one.